Excellent. So the county and the entire country is facing an affordable housing complex crisis. We all know that. But now we hear the experience of the Municipal Housing Authority of the City of Yonkers. Wilson Kimball has both an MBA and a JD and is renowned for over 30 years of impactful work on affordable housing. Wilson and Kara are principals in the Mulford Group, which aims to bridge the gap between developers and high-performance buildings. Kara also holds a JD as well as a degree in mechanical engineering. Ladies.
Just try this. Okay. Hi, I'm Wilson Kimball. I'm President and CEO of Macy Municipal Housing for the City of Yonkers and the Mulford Corporation. This is our 90th year. We were founded on Juneteenth in 1935. We are the 4th largest housing authority in New York State and the largest landlord in Westchester. And we have great partners in the audience, from Max from Circuit, to Noam Brampton from Sustainable Westchester, to the Business Council. So thank you all for being here. And let me do a special shout out to Con Ed, which has been a fabulous partner. Despite what people say about their rate increases, it is not in their control. We get it and we know, and we appreciate you. Climate change is happening in our area. There are hotter temperatures, increased severe rain events, today is one of them, and increased water and air pollution. There's increased pressure on our building infrastructure. We have to develop new and legacy properties. New construction standards, like Passive House, are what we are building today, drastically lowering energy use, healthy air quality from ventilation systems, consistent and comfortable indoor environments, a more resilient and comfortable building, community resource during emergencies, lasting affordability in light and utility rate increases, largely adopted by the industry as the leading standard. Last year, we opened Lamora. The goals were to attain Passive House FIAS standards. It addressed the aging population. If you read the County Needs Assessment for Housing of 2019, you'll find that the fastest growing population is the elderly and the infirm, which is 85 plus, but also anyone 45 and over is growing much more rapidly than the Gen Zs and the younger population. This allows us, through Passive House, to minimize COVID transmission and provide emergency generators which ensure resiliency for our population that may have life support systems such as oxygen tanks and a need for insulin. The lessons we learned building Passive House is to build an experienced design team. Passive House consultants are there to help you, and there are many out there. And you should work with them because they know their industry and they know the latest technology. Schedules for Passive House related review and revisions may take longer, especially at local municipalities in their buildings of housing and development. Contract construction, please define the testing obligations at the time of contracting, not at the time of testing. And retainage or incentive for proactive air sealing requires contractors with experience. So I'm going to turn it over to Kara, who will talk about our existing buildings and our portfolio.
Okay, so my shot clock isn't, oh, it is working now. Perfect, I have 8 minutes. So like Wilson said, we have new construction happening, but we also have existing buildings. We have about 2,000 units of existing housing that, we have a housing crisis in New York. We have 800,000 units promised for development of new construction, but we also have to preserve all of the affordable housing that we have already in existence, which in our case, a lot of it is failing because it was built in the 60s. We're at the end of the useful life of many of these systems. The boilers, which are all based on fossil fuels, they're at the end of their useful life. We have leaking pipes, which have never been replaced in the entirety of the life of the buildings. We have no central air, which we know it's getting hotter in Westchester County. We'll have, more severe weather, which our population is already at risk for. We have no building ventilation. We lack fresh air in our apartments, which we have indoor air quality issues. So all of these things kind of compound on one another to create a really kind of dangerous and volatile environment for our residents, which of course we don't want, and we can't replace those units as quickly as we would like to, so we have to deal with these existing buildings. We're also susceptible to damage due to flooding, not only heat waves, but a lot of Yonkers is built on granite, so we have a combined sewer overflow, which impacts some of our buildings, and we have to keep these residents in place. So we're gonna highlight one of our projects. This is what we lovingly call our problem child. It's our largest development at 415 units. It's in Southwest Yonkers, 7 acres. We had a gas shutoff in 2024 in August, which some of you may have read in the news, which has not been restored. Unfortunately, the systems are at the end of their useful life. The distribution system is in very bad shape, and we cannot turn the gas back on. So we are electrifying, not only for sustainability reasons, but this is the only path forward for us. It's going to cost about $30 million, some of which we have raised and some of which we have not. And construction should begin, if all goes to plan, summer of this year. So, hopefully we can share some groundbreaking news with you pretty soon. The goals of the project are to electrify and decarbonize. We're obviously increasing climate resilience and reducing greenhouse gas pollution, but that's kind of very top level. That's why everybody wants to electrify. We know that our building systems are failing, so we're demolishing those systems before they fail on us. We're installing new heat pump, heating and cooling systems, domestic water systems, and new electrical services to provide the electricity that it's gonna take to do that. Working with Con Ed and partners, in this room, we're very grateful to have that support. And we're replacing the gas stoves with induction, gas laundry dryers with electric, and like we said, heat pumps for heating and cooling and domestic hot water. The financing of these projects is complicated. I don't think anybody really has it figured out, especially in our case. We are in the middle of a tax credit compliance period. We are not refinancing this property. And so we are relying on a lot of grants, a lot of forgivable loans. We have backup plans to use the New York Green Bank to try and bridge that financing gap, but these projects are very expensive. We're leveraging as much as we can, but if anybody has any money hiding under any rocks, we will take it. But we're happy to be partnering with Westchester County. They're providing some funding for us. We're happy to be, trying to partner with NYSERDA for equipment rebates for these heat pumps and stoves. But it's complicated and we haven't got it all figured out, but I think the first thing is to start and figure it out as we go, right? And that's our contact information. If anybody has any questions or wants to give us any money, we will take it. And we'll stick around if anybody wants to talk afterwards.